Hello, my name is Mike Franzak, and I'm the Planning Director for the City of Muskegon. Right now, I'm going to be discussing the goals identified in the new master plan update for the Nelson neighborhood. Just a disclaimer that these plans are still in draft form and we are still seeking public input and feedback. Here's a look at the different chapters you'll find in the new master plan update. And here's a look at the goals identified for the Nelson neighborhood, which I'll be going into in more depth in a moment. Just a reminder that all of these goals were identified through public participation. Here's a look at some of the public participation events we've held over the past few years. In 2019, we held a series of neighborhood association workshops. And in November of 2021, we held some neighborhood plan workshops. In June of 2022, we held a series of economic development and business corridor workshops. And in 2023, we will be holding neighborhood plan review workshops. Goal number one for this neighborhood is to reutilize vacant interior commercial industrial buildings. There are many vacant commercial buildings throughout the interior of the neighborhood. The current zoning restricts many options for reuse, so buildings often sit vacant and become blighted. Acceptable reuse options should be discussed among the community. Goal number two is to provide small to medium-sized retail spaces for small business incubation and growth. Small business incubator space exists in downtown in a few places in Nelson, but a gap exists in next step storefront options for small or new businesses. Moderately sized commercial buildings or small retail units between 500 and 2,000 square feet would allow growing businesses to continue to do so. Goal number three is to redevelop the multiple large-scale underutilized properties in the neighborhood. The neighborhood contains several large parcels that are in need of redevelopment. These include properties such as the former Franzak industrial site, the former Oldsmobile dealership on 3rd Street, the former Nelson School, the former Muskegon property on Morris Street, and the east end of the Mart Dock. Together, these properties encompass over 40 acres of land that has the potential to create hundreds of jobs and house hundreds of people. The redevelopment of these properties should consider the reutilization of existing buildings where feasible and should include uses that are harmonious with the existing blocks. The reinstatement of street grids should be encouraged if buildings are to be demolished. Public access accommodation should be made, whether it's walkways through the properties or for public access along the waterfront. Goal number four is to protect the aging housing stock. Many houses in the neighborhood were constructed generations ago and are beginning to show major signs of distress. In 2017, grant funds enabled the city to demolish dozens of homes in the neighborhood that were neglected to the point of being unsalvageable. Greater effort must be provided to protect the aging housing stock and avoid future large-scale demolitions. Goal number five is to protect historic buildings and complete the historic infill program on Muskegon Avenue. Some historically significant structures risk demolition due to the neglect and inability to find an owner willing to restore the property. The City of Muskegon's historic infill program resulted in the relocation of several historic houses along Muskegon avenues, and the city owns one more adjacent lot in this property. Effort should be made to use this property to relocate another historic home. Goal number six is to partner with schools and faith-based institutions to fully utilize recreational amenities, meeting spaces, kitchens, and gathering halls. The neighborhood is home to 6 educational facilities, 9 faith-based institutions, and 3 government facilities. Many of these sites contain amenities that are underutilized and sometimes underfunded. The city should assist the neighborhood residents' efforts to utilize these facilities, which in turn could assist in the funding efforts. So what's next? We still want to know your thoughts on these goals, so please join us Tuesday, March 21st at 5:30 p.m., where the city staff will be hosting a master plan meeting for the Jackson Hill, Angel, McLaughlin, and Nelson neighborhoods at the Angel Community Church. If you can't attend, please leave feedback online or contact city staff directly to schedule a meeting. Thank you.